When you chase someone who's walking away, all they see is your desperation. But when you walk away in silence, they hear your power. You want to know how to make them come back crawling. I'm talking about the kind of crawling that comes from regret, the kind that keeps them up at 2 a.m. replaying everything they said. You're not going to do it with sweet texts or begging. No, you're going to do it by becoming unforgettable. And I'm going to show you how. But first, if even one part of you is done chasing, done explaining, and ready to flip the script, then hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me, because this right here, this is going to change the game for you. Hey folks, imagine this. A lion doesn't roar to chase mice. It just sits in silence, and everything comes to it. That's the energy you're going to step into, because here's the lie they've been sold. If you just keep trying, they'll see your worth. Wrong. The more they try, the more invisible they become. The more they give, the less they're valued. And every time they try to prove something, they lose a piece of themselves. See, people don't chase what's always available. They chase what's missing. That's the brutal truth. It's not fair, but it's real. Like trying to hold water in your hand. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips through. They've been chasing, texting, over-explaining, showing up with flowers, hoping it'll change everything. But it didn't, did it? It only pushed them further away. Why? Because they were playing by rules that were rigged from the start. Let me tell you what works. Silence, distance, detachment. These are not signs of weakness. They are weapons, emotional ones, psychological ones. And in a world drowning in noise, your absence is the loudest message you can send. You don't need to scream. You just need to vanish for a while and let them hear the echo of your silence bounce around in their own mind. Do you know why they'll come back? Because once they feel what it's like to not have you, that's when reality slaps them. That's when curiosity turns into obsession. That's when the tables flip. And they're the one wondering, overthinking, stalking your page, checking if you've moved on. They'll come back, not because you chased, but because you walked away with power. Confucius once said, "He who chases 2 rabbits catches none." Some of you are chasing someone who isn't even running toward you anymore. They're walking away, slowly, because they think you'll follow. So don't let them go, and instead become the thing they never thought they'd lose. Listen, my friends, you don't need to fight for a spot in anyone's life. You don't need to over-explain your worth. You need to disappear just long enough for them to realize they just lost something irreplaceable. This isn't a game. This is emotional discipline. This is how power shifts. This is how you stop being forgettable and start being unforgettable. So, if you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, I want you to drop this in the comments right now. I am the power. Say it like you mean it. Affirm it. Show them. Show yourself. And show the world. That's where the real power move begins. Number 1. The harsh truth. Why chasing always backfires. The moment you chase is the moment you tell them they're worth more than your peace. Let's not sugarcoat it. Chasing always ends the same way, with them walking away and you standing there with your pride bleeding. It doesn't matter how good your intentions were, how genuine your heart was, or how much you thought just one more message might fix it. When you chase, you shrink, and when you shrink, they stop seeing you. That's the brutal law of attraction most people never learn until it's too late. Picture this. You're in a desert. You've been walking for days. You see a mirage, and it looks like water. You run toward it, faster, desperate, pouring everything you have into reaching it. only to realize it was never real. That's what chasing love, validation, or attention feels like when it's not mutual. They see the desperation, they smell the fear, and instead of pulling them closer, it sends them running for the hills. Why does this happen? Why is it that the more they try, the more the other person pulls back? Why does showing someone how much they care lead to getting ghosted, ignored, or friend-zoned? Because people don't value what's easy. They value what's rare. That's human psychology, folks. We're wired to want what's just out of reach. That's why diamonds are locked in vaults and not sold at the gas station. That's why the person who plays it cool seems 10 times more attractive than the one constantly texting "good morning" and "how was your day" every single hour. Here's the lie most of them have believed: if I show them more love, they'll stay. But real talk, that's not love. That's fear disguised as affection. Fear of losing. Fear of being alone. Fear that if they don't do enough, they won't be enough. But chasing doesn't prove love. It proves lack. It proves insecurity. And nothing kills attraction faster than a lack of self-respect. Think about it. When was the last time someone begged for your attention and you thought, wow, this person is powerful, I want them more? Probably never. Because power doesn't beg. Power doesn't chase. Power walks. Power waits. Power attracts. And guess what? You are power. You've just been taught to suppress it under guilt, anxiety, and fairy tale nonsense. Let me break the illusion once and for all. Chasing is not romantic. It's repelling. It doesn't bring people closer. It pushes them further away. Not because you're not lovable, but because you gave away the one thing people are drawn to: mystery, the unknown, the challenge. When someone knows they've got you wrapped around their finger, they stop trying, they stop respecting. And when respect dies, love doesn't stand a chance. This is why it's hard to stop chasing, because deep down, they're afraid. Afraid that if they stop reaching out, the other person will forget them. That if they let go, it'll really be over. But let me ask you this. Has chasing ever actually brought them back? Has it ever made someone stay? Or did it just leave them more confused, more broken, and more lost? Here's the truth. Silence is what makes them think. Detachment is what makes them feel. Distance is what brings them back. You don't need to chase to be seen. You need to step back long enough for them to miss the light you brought, because when someone loses access to your energy, that's when they start to value it. So if you've been chasing, hoping, obsessing, it ends here. You don't need to run after anyone who doesn't see your worth. You are not a follower in someone else's story. You are the prize. The moment you stop chasing is the moment they start remembering who you were. This is your time to rise, not by fixing anything out there, but by rebuilding everything in here. If you're done with the cycle of overgiving and under-receiving, if you're ready to walk away from the desperation and step into quiet strength, then drop this in the comments right now. I no longer chase. Write it like you mean it. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you that this chapter is different. And stay with me, because next we're going to flip the entire emotional script and dive into the exact move that triggers obsession. This is where it gets powerful. Number 2, the power shift. Why pulling back triggers obsession. People want most what they can't have and value most what they can't control. Let's break the illusion right now. The moment you stop showing up, stop chasing, stop giving them easy access to your presence, that's the moment everything starts to shift, not on the outside, but inside them. Their mind starts to spiral, the silence becomes unbearable, and suddenly Your absence speaks louder than all those texts they ignored. It's wild, isn't it? How someone can seem so disinterested while you're there. But the moment you pull back, they start remembering every little thing about you. That laugh, that look, that energy. And it doesn't happen because you convince them. It happens because you confuse them. And confusion is the beginning of curiosity. Curiosity becomes obsession. And obsession, that's how they come back crawling. Imagine this. You're holding a magnet. Push one side close and it repels, but flip it around, create some distance, and it pulls with full force. That's attraction. That's how energy works. When you chase, when you cling, when you're too close, they back away. But the second you reverse the polarity, when you stop playing their emotional game, that same magnet flips, and now they are pulled in. And here's where the real power kicks in. You're not pulling back to punish. You're pulling back to protect your peace. You're not going silent to manipulate. You're doing it because reacting only drains you. And when you step back, you force them to confront what they lost. That's when they realize you were the anchor, you were the calm, you were the consistency they never appreciated until it disappeared. Some of them are thinking right now, but what if I pull back and they don't care? Let me tell you something important. If they truly don't care, then chasing them would have only destroyed you anyway. But in most cases, they do care, way more than they show. But as long as they think you're always going to be there, they'll never admit it. You have to shake their sense of control, pull the rug out, and when they don't feel certain anymore, that's when emotions come alive. That's why silence is so effective, not because it's cold, but because it breaks the routine. They're used to your presence, used to your good morning texts, used to the likes, the check-ins, the safety net. But when you stop showing up, you create space, and in that space their mind runs wild. Who are they talking to now? Did they move on? Why aren't they reacting anymore? You become the question mark they never expected. You shift from predictable to powerful. Even the most confident people will start to feel the void. Because every human, no matter how cold they act, has a psychological trigger. We miss what we no longer control. The mind hates losing influence. That's why pulling back doesn't just make them miss you, it makes them obsess, not over who you were, but over who you've become. They thought you'd always be there, that they could take you for granted and come back whenever. But now, you're not answering. You're not watching their stories. You're not reacting. And whether they admit it or not, that silence is deafening. It's not rejection, it's evolution. And I get it. Pulling back is hard, especially when you care, when your heart still wants to reach out. But every time you resist the urge to chase, you're reprogramming your mind. You're breaking the addiction to their validation. You're shifting the dynamic from powerless to untouchable. So stop trying to explain your worth. Let your absence deliver the message. Stop trying to be understood by someone who only listens when it's convenient. Let them sit in the silence long enough to hear what they've been ignoring. They wanted space. Give them space. They wanted freedom. Let them taste it. And when they realize freedom doesn't feel so good without your presence, that's when the chase begins. But this time, you're not the one running. If you're ready to stop proving and start pulling back, if you're ready to flip the magnet and let them feel the pull, then drop this in the comments right now. I choose silence. Say it. Own it. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world that you don't need to be loud to be heard. And stay with me, because next, we're diving deeper into how your silence becomes the storm they never saw coming. Number 3, silence as a weapon, the psychology of your absence. Never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. Silence isn't weakness, my friends. It's war, not the kind with shouting and chaos, but the kind that destroys them from the inside out. It's the weapon they never see coming, because while they're expecting you to chase, you vanish. And that disappearance, it doesn't just sting, it haunts. Let's make something clear. Silence isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about finally putting your energy where it belongs, with yourself. It's the ultimate reversal. When they expected noise and got nothing, when they expected a reaction and were met with stillness, their mind has no choice but to start running wild. And that's exactly what you want, because silence is the one sound their ego can't handle. Imagine a hallway. You just walked out, door closed, no goodbye, no drama, just gone. And on the other side, they're standing there, listening, waiting, expecting footsteps, a knock, a message. But all they hear is nothing. That quiet, that's the beginning of regret, of realization. Because now there's no more control, no more certainty, no more guaranteed attention, just a void. And that void starts to whisper thoughts they can't shut off. Why'd they go silent? Did I go too far? Are they with someone else now? Did I lose them for good? And this, folks, is what silence does. It doesn't scream. It invades. It crawls into their thoughts when they're laying in bed. It shows up when they're scrolling through their phone, hoping to see your name. It punches them with questions at random moments in the day. And the craziest part? You didn't say a word. That's why silence is more powerful than any text you could ever send. Because most people, especially the ones who took you for granted, expect noise. They expect to be chased. They expect another chance. So when you take all of that away, when you go completely still, it feels like emotional starvation. They can't get their usual fix from you anymore. No messages, no reactions, no validation. Now they're stuck with themselves. And that silence becomes a mirror. It reflects everything they refused to see before. Their arrogance, their games, the way they mishandled someone real. And while you're silent, they're spiraling. They're second-guessing their choices. They're stalking your page from a fake account. They're hoping to accidentally run into you. You've flipped the script entirely without even touching the pen. Here's where it gets deeper. Silence doesn't just trigger thoughts, it awakens emotions, emotions they buried, guilt they denied, attraction they thought had faded. But now, it's all bubbling back. Because silence brings contrast. It highlights how things felt when you were around. The comfort, the warmth, the loyalty, now replaced by emptiness. And in that emptiness, they start to feel what you felt when they went cold. Funny, isn't it? How the moment you stop talking is the moment they start thinking. The second you go dark is the moment they start searching. That's the power of silence. It's not passive, it's aggressive in disguise. But let's be honest, it's not easy. You'll have moments where your fingers hover over your phone, where you want to check their story, where you want to break the silence just to feel seen. But hear me loud and clear, don't. Every time you stay silent, you shift the balance. Every time you don't react, you reclaim your power. And every second you stay gone, they feel it more. You see, this isn't just about getting them back. It's about training your nervous system to stop depending on their response. It's about showing yourself that peace doesn't require closure. It only requires distance. And silence is that distance. So, if you're in that silent phase right now, thinking it's not working, trust me, it is. You're not seeing the reaction yet because they're hiding it, but they're feeling it deeply. They're checking your page. They're rereading old texts. They're thinking of reaching out, but their ego won't let them. And that's okay. Let them wrestle with their silence. Let them earn your presence again. If you're ready to let silence speak for you, if you're done begging to be heard, if you finally understand that quiet is power, then drop this in the comments right now. My silence speaks. Say it with certainty. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world around you what real control looks like. And stay with me, because next we'll break down the one inner skill that makes silence unstoppable: emotional control. The secret trait that makes them chase while you stay calm. Number 4, emotional control, the one trait they can't resist. Let's get one thing straight. Emotional control isn't about being cold. It's about being unshakable. It's about being the kind of person who doesn't flinch when things get messy, doesn't chase when someone pulls back, and doesn't crumble just because someone stops texting. Emotional control is rare, and in a world full of emotionally reactive people, it's magnetic. Here's the truth, my friends. The moment they see they can push your buttons, they'll keep pressing them. Not because they're evil, but because humans test what they don't fully understand. And when someone knows exactly what you'll do next, text them back right away, argue when provoked, cry when they go distant, you lose all sense of mystery, and with that, you lose respect. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a storm. Winds are howling, lightning is striking, chaos everywhere, but you don't move. You're calm, grounded, unmoved. That's what emotional control looks like in real life. While they're throwing their silence, their mood swings, their mind games at you, you remain centered. And that is power. You see, people don't fall for the loudest person in the room. They fall for the one who knows how to hold back. The one who doesn't feel the need to explain every emotion. The one who responds, not reacts. That's what makes someone irresistible, not their looks, not their words, but the vibe they carry. And emotional control, that's the foundation of that vibe. Now, some of them may be thinking, but isn't showing emotions healthy? Of course it is. This isn't about being a robot. This is about choosing when and where you give your energy. Because not everyone deserves your vulnerability. Not everyone should have access to your emotions, especially not someone who's still deciding if they value your presence. Let me drop a truth bomb on you. If someone can pull you out of character, they're leading the dance. If they can get a rise out of you with silence, with a sarcastic comment, or with a petty post, they're in control. And that control, it costs you your peace, your confidence, and your dignity. But when you stop reacting, when you stop flinching every time they shift, you flip the power dynamic completely. They expect you to get upset. They expect the long emotional text, the impulsive call, the please talk to me message. So when you don't give them any of that, you shake them deeply, and suddenly you become the mystery, the one they can't read, the one they can't manipulate. And guess what? That's when they become obsessed, because people always chase what they can't control. Now let's talk about why emotional control is so hard. Because most people have never practiced it. They've been raised to respond instantly, to seek closure, to vent everything. But in doing so, they've trained themselves to be emotionally impulsive. And that impulsiveness? It's what destroys their chances of being seen as high value. Think of emotional control like a muscle. You don't get strong by avoiding the weight. You get strong by holding it, by learning to pause before you act. You feel the emotion, but you don't let it run the show. You step back, you breathe, you think long-term. That pause, that's where your power lives. That's the space between being reactive and being legendary. And listen, it's okay if you've reacted before. It's okay if you've sent that long message, begged, over-explained. We've all done it. But from this moment forward, that's not you anymore. You're done being at the mercy of someone else's behavior. You're done losing sleep over someone who doesn't value your presence. You're becoming emotionally bulletproof. Because when they can't shake you, they start to respect you. And when they respect you, they start to desire you. Emotional control isn't just attractive, it's irresistible. It tells the world that your value doesn't depend on someone else's actions, that your peace can't be bought or shaken. If you're ready to stop reacting, if you're ready to be the calm in the chaos, if you want to flip the entire dynamic without saying a word, then drop this in the comments. I stay grounded. Say it, feel it, own it, show them, show yourself, show the world around you that from now on, you lead with presence, not panic. And stay with me, because next we're going to talk about what happens when they realize you've stopped playing their game and how that one shift leaves them lost, confused, and crawling back for answers. Number 5. Let them wonder why you stopped playing their game. Your silence doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've finally decided they're not worth the noise. There comes a moment, quiet, powerful, undeniable, when you just stop. Not because you gave up, but because you woke up. You wake up to the fact that you've been playing a game where the rules were never in your favor, where the more you gave, the less you were valued, where your kindness was mistaken for weakness. And that moment, that's when the power flips. That's when they start to wonder. Let them. Let them sit in the space you once filled. Let them check their phone wondering why it's not lighting up with your name. Let them scroll through their social media hoping to see a reaction. Let them wonder why the one who always showed up suddenly doesn't. Let them realize they're not being ignored. They've just lost access. And when someone loses access to your energy, your consistency, your presence, it hits harder than any goodbye ever could. Because this isn't about dramatic exits or last words. It's about quiet exits and no explanation. That's the stuff that lingers. That's the stuff that stays with them long after you've walked away. Imagine it like this. You're the sun they used to orbit, but now you've gone dark. No more warmth, no more light, just silence. And without your glow, they start to feel cold. They start to question. They start to spiral. Because humans don't handle uncertainty well. And when someone no longer knows what you're thinking, where you are, or whether you even care, they lose their sense of control. That's when obsession begins. You see, they thought they had you figured out. They thought you'd always be there, always care, always reach out. They thought they could pull back and you'd lean in, that they could play hot and cold and you'd keep dancing. But now you're not reacting, you're not explaining, you're not chasing. And that silence, that's louder than any argument, that's more confusing than any confession, because silence breaks patterns, and broken patterns force people to look inward. The questions start. Why did they stop trying? Did I go too far? Are they over me? Who are they talking to now? And suddenly they're living in the very uncertainty they once put you through. That's justice. That's the mirror. And the best part? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to prove a point. You don't have to win a battle. Because the moment you stopped playing their game, you won. But make no mistake, this isn't easy. There will be moments where you'll want to break your silence, where you'll wonder if they even notice you're gone, where you'll feel tempted to just check in, just to see how they're doing. But remember this, the moment you break character, the spell breaks. The moment you explain yourself again, you go back to being predictable, and predictable never wins the game. So don't do it. Let them wonder, let them sit in the confusion. Because that's where growth happens for you. That's where you get to watch yourself evolve into someone who no longer needs to be chosen to feel valuable. Someone who no longer begs to be understood. Someone who can walk away and mean it. And if they come back, it won't be because you begged. It'll be because they finally realized what they lost. And if they don't, good. You've just made room for someone who never plays games to begin with. Because when you stop playing their game, you start playing yours. A game where peace is the prize, where self-respect is the currency, and where silence isn't a reaction, it's a statement. If you're ready to stop explaining yourself, if you're done being predictable, if you've finally stepped into the energy of, I don't chase, I attract, then drop this in the comments right now. Let them wonder. Say it with pride. Say it with stillness. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world that your silence is no longer weakness. It's a declaration of self-worth. And stay with me, because next we're going even deeper into what happens while you're gone. Not just in their mind, but in your life, where transformation begins. Number 6. While you're gone, build what they can't compete with. The best revenge is not proving them wrong. It's proving to yourself that you never needed their approval to become great. So now you're gone. Not emotionally begging, not explaining, not trying to get them to see your worth. You've gone quiet, and while they're left spinning in the silence, wondering why you stopped showing up, you've got work to do. And no, I'm not talking about checking their stories or sitting around hoping they'll reach out. I'm talking about becoming so focused on your own growth that they can't recognize you when they try to come back. That's the move. Because while they're sitting in the comfort of attention, thinking you're still stuck, you're evolving, and that's the part they'll never be able to compete with. Because when someone realizes they're losing access to a version of you that keeps getting better, stronger, sharper, that's when the regret kicks in. Not when you text first, not when you post something to make them jealous, but when you outgrow the version of you that used to care so much. Picture it like this. They thought you'd be in the same place forever, emotionally available, easy to reach, always ready to forgive. But now, you're not just distant, you're different. You've started to train your mind. You've shifted the way you walk, talk, think. While they were busy wondering what happened to you, you were busy becoming who they never imagined you could be without them. And that's the part most people don't expect. They expect your silence to be temporary, a bluff, a tactic. But when you disappear and start building, that's when the entire energy changes. You stop being someone who wanted them and become someone they're no longer qualified for. They were comfortable with the old you, the one who waited on replies, the one who tried to fix everything, the one who accepted crumbs. But the new you, the one who's spending time in the gym, learning new skills, earning more, healing, not needing validation, not even checking for them. That's terrifying to someone who was once your emotional addiction. Let's be real, this won't be easy. There will be moments when your body wants to check your phone, moments where your mind wants to accidentally bump into them or find out what they're doing. But every time you resist, every time you pour that energy into your grind instead of into a ghost, you level up. And leveling up, that's what makes silence permanent in their soul. because it creates a gap between who you were and who you're becoming. Let them have their moments. Let them play their little social media games. Let them pretend they don't care, because deep down, they know that your silence has weight. And if they ever do come back, they won't be coming back to the same person. They'll be facing someone with boundaries, with purpose, with power. And maybe they'll want access again. Maybe they'll reach out when they feel that gap widening. But by then, you won't be so easy to reach, because while they were busy counting likes, you were stacking wins. While they were trying to trigger you, you were too focused on your future to even flinch. This is what real transformation looks like. Quiet, focused, ruthless. You don't announce it. You don't post about it. You just become it. The version of you they once took for granted has been upgraded, and now they're the ones stuck in the past, watching you from a distance they created. So don't waste this silence. Use it. Use it to become someone they'd regret losing, but more importantly, someone you're proud of becoming. This isn't just about showing them. This is about showing you that your value was never dependent on someone else seeing it, that you were always the prize. You just forgot for a moment. If you're ready to build in silence, grow in solitude, and come back as someone they'll never forget, drop this in the comments right now. I build in silence. Say it with focus. Say it with fire. Show them. Show yourself. Show the world that while they were busy playing games, you were busy building a kingdom. And stay with me, because next we're talking about the moment they reach out and how to respond without ever losing your power again. Number 7. The return. When they come back, control the frame. Don't open the door to the past just because it knocks louder than your future. It happens quietly, unexpectedly. When you've stopped checking your phone every 5 minutes, that's when it pings. When you've stopped rehearsing conversations in your head, that's when the message lands. Hey, how have you been? Out of nowhere, innocent on the surface, but you and I both know it's not random. It never is. They're not just checking in. They're checking if you're still there, still the same, still waiting, still emotionally available like you used to be. But here's the catch. They're not coming back because they've suddenly become a better person. No, they're coming back because your silence broke the pattern and triggered their fear. So what do you do when they return? You don't do what you did before. You don't respond with that long, warm paragraph. You don't reply instantly, breathlessly, like you've been waiting for this moment. You don't give them access to the emotional luxury they once took for granted. You play it cool, not because you're playing games, but because now you understand the game. And this time, you control the frame. Imagine you're the CEO of your own life. You don't drop everything because someone who walked out decides to stroll back in. You don't hand over your peace just because someone misses your presence. They made their decision when they went silent. Now they get to experience who you've become in the aftermath of their absence. And that version of you has standards. See, people don't regret losing you when you're still emotionally available. They regret it when they realize they have to work to get back in. That's the key. When they message you, they're expecting a flashback, a throwback to the old version of you that needed them. But what they're about to meet is someone who's healed, who's built, who's grown. And that contrast, it stings. They say, "Let's catch up sometime," and you respond, "I've been busy lately, but hope all is well." Short, polite, powerful. You didn't ignore them, but you didn't open the door wide either. You're showing them that this version of you doesn't rush back. You don't move unless it's on your terms. Now, here's where most people mess up. They get excited. They think, they miss me. This is my chance. And they fall right back into the same cycle, over-explaining, oversharing, over-giving. And guess what? The attraction dies again. Because you gave them proof that nothing's changed, that you're still that emotionally dependent version of yourself. But not you, not anymore. This time, you let them do the work. If they want to talk, cool. Let them start conversations. Let them ask questions. Let them show up. You don't jump back into hour-long texts and FaceTimes. You don't rush into a meetup. You don't give them the full VIP version of you just because they finally figured out you were valuable. They left. They pulled back. They made you feel small. Now they want access? It has to be earned. You're not being mean. You're being measured. And if they really regret letting you go, they'll prove it. But if they're just looking for a quick ego boost or a comfort zone they can come back to when life gets boring, your cool energy will scare them off. Good. You're not here to be someone's emotional safety net. You're here to build, grow, and connect with people who value you without needing to lose you first. So when they return, when they finally break the silence, when curiosity finally becomes too loud to ignore, you smile. Not because you're happy they're back, but because you're no longer affected by whether they stay. You've become the calm, the stillness, the storm they can't control. If you're ready to stay in your power when they return, if you're done giving old energy to old people, if you're finally in control of how the story unfolds, drop this in the comments right now. I control the frame. Say it like you mean it. Show them, show yourself. Show the world that you're no longer reacting, you're leading. And stay with me, because next, we're locking in the boundaries that make sure they never hold power over you again. Not emotionally, not mentally, not ever. Number 8. Lock it in. Boundaries that protect your peace and power. When you set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm, don't be surprised when they get used to the heat. Unknown. Let's be clear, when they come back, it's not enough to just play it cool. If you don't lock in your boundaries, the past will repeat itself. Because people don't change unless they're forced to face the new standard. And trust me, the new you comes with a rule book. One they've never read. One they're not ready for. You didn't go silent just to let them walk back in like nothing happened. You didn't suffer in private just to reset the same cycle. You didn't spend all that time rebuilding your mind, your peace, your self-worth, just to hand it over again to someone who once took it for granted. This time, the rules are different. This time, you don't tolerate the disrespect you used to excuse. You don't respond to breadcrumbs with a feast. You don't accept vague energy, half-hearted effort, or emotional hot and cold games. This version of you is grounded, sharp, unshakable, and the only people who get access now are the ones who earn it. Let's get metaphorical. Think of your life like a castle, strong, sacred, protected. Before, you left the gates wide open. Anyone could stroll in, leave a mess, and disappear. But now, you've built walls. You've learned that not everyone deserves to see the throne. And just because someone knocks doesn't mean they should be let in. When they return, and many of them do, they'll test those boundaries. Oh, they'll say all the right things. I miss you. I've changed. Let's start over. But you don't listen to words anymore. You watch actions. You observe patterns. You measure consistency. Because words are cheap and your energy is expensive now. And some of them are thinking, but what if I scare them off with these boundaries? Let me tell you something. If someone walks away because you respect yourself, they were never meant to stay. Boundaries don't scare away the right people. They filter out the wrong ones, the ones who only stayed because they had access to a version of you that tolerated too much. So when they reach out, keep it calm, keep it short. Let them prove themselves. Don't rearrange your schedule for a maybe. Don't drop your progress just to make them comfortable. Make it clear. Your time is valuable. Your presence is earned. And your peace is non-negotiable. And here's the twist most people don't expect. Boundaries attract more than they repel, because emotional strength is magnetic. Confidence is intoxicating. And when someone sees you standing tall in your standards, they either level up or walk away. And both outcomes are wins. If they want to talk, they talk respectfully. If they want to reconnect, they do it with intent. If they want to be part of your life again, they don't just expect forgiveness, they work for it. Because you're not in the business of entertaining chaos anymore. You're in the business of building peace, discipline, and clarity. So stop being afraid of losing people by setting boundaries. Be more afraid of losing yourself by not setting them. You are not that same emotionally available, constantly forgiving, overly giving version of yourself. That person was beautiful, but they bled for people who never deserved their pulse. Now, you're focused, centered, you know who you are, and if someone wants to be in your life, they're going to have to match your frequency, not bring you back down to the one you've already evolved out of. So write this in the comments right now if you're ready to protect your peace. I set the standard. Say it, lock it in, show them, show yourself, show the world that your boundaries aren't walls to keep love out. They're filters to protect everything you've rebuilt. And here's the bottom line. You don't win by chasing. You don't win by explaining. You win by becoming. Becoming the version of yourself that no longer needs validation to feel valuable. The version that doesn't flinch when they pull away. The version that doesn't lower their standards just to be chosen. You've now seen what silence can do. You've felt the shift. You've walked through the fire of detachment and emerged with clarity. Let them come back. Let them wander, but never let them hold the same power they once did. Because now, you're different. Now, you're in control. And if they don't rise to meet the new standard, you walk without hesitation. So, if this message hits something deep inside you, if you're done repeating cycles and ready to live from a place of power, drop a fire emoji in the comments right now and type, "I don't chase, I attract." Let the world see your shift. And don't forget, like this video if it gave you clarity. Share it with someone who needs this wake-up call and hit that subscribe button for more content that will keep you sharp, focused, and unstoppable.